A Georgia state senator who supported the new voting rights law and who was just at that press conference with Governor Kemp, Senator Matt Brass. Matt, thank you for joining us. Tell us what was happening at the press conference. What was your takeaway? And tell us what you think about what's happened.
Well, Griff, thanks, and I think the governor did a great job of it's time for a fight. You know, one of the interesting parts of all this, and this is all President Biden's fault. The White House and President Biden, Stacey Abrams, they continue to spread lies to paint their narrative. And they use these catchy phrases like Jim Crow 2.0. But what's interesting is if you actually go back to Jim Crow 1.0, back then it was Democrats, it was corporate America, and it was our major league sports that told a group of people that their values didn't matter, that they're not going to have a voice, and anybody that supports them is going to get punished. And so they may be right in Jim Crow 2.0, because we're seeing that all over again. When Major League Baseball pulled out of Atlanta, what they said was, y'all's values don't matter, you will not have a voice, and you're going to be punished for it. And a lot of people just got punished that probably voted for Joe Biden, and it's sad.
Senator, the takeaway obviously from this move is, as you said, both political but also an economic damage to the Georgia community there. And I want to know what you think about the major corporations, from Delta to Coke to others getting involved. You know, I listened to the CEO of Delta talking about listening to his employees and how they felt about this new law, and that's why they're responding. But you disagree with his decision.
Yes, sir, and it's interesting, Griff, because, again, I represent 3,800 Delta employees, more than any other Senate district in the state. And I've started getting emails from them saying, thank you for standing up to make sure my vote counts. Thank you for making sure we have more access to the ballots. Thank you for expanding our ability to vote and keeping it transparent and making sure that no one's allowed to cheat. And they don't, those employees, they don't have a voice because they can't speak up at work. So, you know, I'm having to be that voice for them. And it's just frustrating that the CEO of Delta and Coca-Cola, they didn't engage 2 years ago when the Democrats were out saying that there was election fraud, when the Democrats were out saying that the machines could be hacked. And then we've had this bill, you know, going through the process since the second Monday of January of this year, and they haven't engaged in the process until after the governor signed it into law. And that it's just not right. Come to the table, use your skill set as a CEO of bringing two opposing sides together to fix a problem with a solution. Senator, and they haven't done that.
I want to get in with you. Former President Trump is now weighing into this, taking on those CEOs. What do you think what impact do you think that will have?
Well, I think what we're seeing is all Republicans are standing up and fighting for the truth. And you know, there's no measure that the other side will not go to. It's never good enough. And these CEOs are going to learn that. And we heard the governor talk about that at the press conferences. It's never good enough for them. And they're never going to stop. And so, you know, one thing I think that people saw and believed in Donald Trump was he was a fighter. And so to have him out fighting for us, it just really rallies the troops, and it's time for us all to stand up.
And just in the last moments we have, I do want to show those CEOs and those corporations and how they handle China and their involvement. You see Delta added more than tons of flights to China during the pandemic, Coca-Cola investing $4 billion in China for future growth. Do you see a bit of hypocrisy in that the CEOs will bend to online mobs, but yet won't take on a country, an authoritarian country like China?
Oh, no doubt about it. Now, I'll take it a step further. If you look at Major League Baseball, headquartered in New York, New York has, they don't have no excuse voting. And we have, I think, 7 more days of early voting than New York does. So why didn't Major League Baseball announce the next day that they were going to up and leave New York? It just doesn't make sense. And the hypocrisy out there is unbelievable. And like I said earlier, it's never going to be good enough for them.
Senator Matt Brass, State Senator Matt Brass, thank you for taking time. Keep us posted on what's happening down there in the Peach State. It's one to watch. Thank you, sir.
Sure.